Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Thanks for tuning in and downloading. I got a fun show today. We actually have a guest. We have a couple guests, my friends Sal and Bob of the Sal and Bob Show, a couple of comedians from Michigan and good friends of mine. So I'm going to talk to them in just a few minutes, but I wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone that came out to the big show in Dowagiac, Michigan. We had a sold out show. We had a good time. I had some odd heckling moments, a guy that wouldn't stop talking, and it was a lot of fun. It was I don't know. Normally, I don't encourage heckling. Actually, in fact, I never encourage it. But in this case, it actually kind of worked. I don't, and I'm not admitting that like it doesn't work. It doesn't help. Okay, if you go to a comedy show, don't say a word. Laugh or don't laugh. The easiest job in the world is attending a comedy show. Enjoy yourself or don't. And that's fine. That's fair. You don't have to enjoy it. Comedy's not for everybody, I guess. But this was a unique situation. It was one of those like everything the guy said because he was a little wasted and he was old. He was like an old guy named Gil, a veteran. He was in Vietnam, And the thing is, I know all this about him, and I didn't ask. Okay, that's how it went. But it was actually hilarious. The guy was cool. We went back and forth. It was fun. But the thing is, then he comes up to me after the show and he's like, "I'm glad I could help out the show." He had that kind of attitude about it, and I was like, "Look, man, the only reason it went well is because we handled it. Okay, like I could have been less funny. I could have, but it worked. It worked because I knew what I was doing. Okay, and normally I don't brag about this kind of stuff, but it's frustrating that people think yelling stuff out during the show is somehow helpful or that the comedians kind of like it. And Instagram now is big on it's a lot of crowd work clips and stuff. And some comedians have strong opinions about it, understandably, right? People think that it might encourage the audience to heckle or yell out, it may make audiences expect crowd work, and that's not the case for every comedian. So some people think it's kind of changed the expectations of the audience, but this guy was like in his 70s. There's no way he knew about this. This was just him being him. Also, the weather was all right, but it was a little cold and snowy, and this is in like West Michigan, a little rural area, right? Not a lot going on, and this is the type of show it was. There about 15 snowmobiles parked out front. Okay, that's what you see when you roll up to the show, and they were a lot of fun. I always think it's funny, like if you see people on snowmobiles going to a comedy show, they have at least one DUI, right? They have to. So, like I said, anyway, thanks to those who came out to the show and signed up for my ever growing email list, which you can sign up for. Just click the link in the show description to my email list, sign up, and I'll let you know when I'm coming to your town. And I hope to see you out there. This is a pretty big week, folks. I don't know if you know, but the Lions are about to, they're in the playoffs still, okay? They're down to the final four teams in the league, right? They've made it so far, and so that's exciting. And I got a lot of shows coming up too that I'm looking forward to. So there's a lot of good things happening. Okay. We got the Lions in the playoffs, and I'm going to be at the Traverse City Comedy Festival the first weekend in February. I should have the dates in front of me, but I don't. I think it's February 2nd through the 4th or something like that. It's that first weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I got a lot of shows that weekend up in Traverse City, so I would love to see you come out there. One of which I will be headlining the Sal and Bob Show at the Old Town Playhouse Theater on Friday. So make sure you get up there and check that show out. And here to talk to me about all this are Sal and Bob in the flesh, on the phone, right here, right now. Hey, guys. Thanks for calling in.
You are quite welcome. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, you too, Nate.
It's always a pleasure to chat with you guys. It's a big week for me, for everybody in Michigan, right? You got the Lions in the playoffs still.
Yes, it's bigger than big.
I had to get your
Yep.
guys' take on it because I would call you guys by, like, I'm always texting you about what kind of bets I should be making, what are your predictions? And I mean, considering this is such a big game, are you guys excited? What do you guys think is going to happen? Let me hear it. I got to get the Sal and Bob take.
Well, I think Sal is the better handicapper, so let him go first. He speaks with the voice of reason, and I'm all emotion. So take it away, Sal.
Well, I'm going to hand it off to you in a minute, but what I wanted to say, first of all, is I agree with you guys. This game is so big that just Bob just saying it's bigger than big. It is. It really is. And it's like, I don't even really believe it yet. I swear to God. The other day, they put up the Final Four on ESPN, and I'm like, the Lions are one of the four. I feel like I'm going to wake up out of a nightmarish dream. and it's like New England is in the Super Bowl again with Tom Brady or something. Like I don't even believe it's happening. But anyway, besides that, I think the Lions have a really good chance. I mean, I'm not ESPN, but I heard Samuel is out, and that guy is a big, big part of their offense, and that's a big loss. And with that guy out, I think the Lions have a really, really good chance.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think that's what makes this all even crazier. I don't think it's any fluke that they've made it this far.
I agree.
No, it's not a fluke. It's all finally having talent on both sides of the ball and people who make plays when they have to. That was always the problem with the Lions, I thought. They didn't have enough talent in key positions, and they didn't have people that could, come up with plays like that interception to end the game against the Bucs.
God, normally
that never happened for us.
Normally, we're the guys throwing the interception at the end to lose the game, right?
Exactly. So I think that's the difference. I agree with Sal. I think the Lions have a great chance. I read something contrary to what he read. They said, and this is 2 hours old, Deebo Samuel, feeling better, won't practice to begin week. So they haven't ruled him out. He's not practicing today, though.
Okay.
I wonder if they're just trying to confuse us, like, is he playing?
Yeah.
Is he not?
Yeah.
I think true.
I think he's going to try and go, but who knows for sure. I put the money line bet on the Lions.
Ooh, all right.
And I'm not even talking about points here. I don't even care. I just think they're going to find a way to win like they have all year. I mean, when you think about it, they really only lost, 3 games or 4? They beat Dallas.
Right.
The Ravens just kicked the hell out of them. There's a couple others they should have wanted to, but they're elite now. There's no question. They belong where they are.
So if the Lions make it to the Super Bowl, are you guys going to go?
No, I will not be attending the Super Bowl if it's. To be honest, I probably won't even be attending if it's the Lions, because you're talking that's going to be a pretty big ticket item if they make it to the Super Bowl.
What's funny is you guys know my wife Brittany, and
of course
when we moved into a new place this summer, and we're trying to think of an appropriate time to invite friends over, because when you move in, you got to unpack and live in the place a little bit before you want friends to see it. So we're trying to think of a good time to have people over. So before the football season even started, I was like, why don't we just have a Super Bowl party? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Normally I'm not so invested in this Super Bowl. It's just usually something fun to watch, right? Well,
yeah.
Now that the Lions, are this close, Brittany, she's sending out invites. She's telling people to come over. We're going to have people over. And I was like, I don't know if the Lions actually make it. I don't know if I want people around. There's nothing worse sounding to me than the Lions, God forbid they make it and then they lose. And then I'm the loser sitting in my living room with everyone going, oh man, sorry. It was good. It was good buffalo chicken dip though.
That's all anybody's going to care, Nate.
I know, that's true. But it's always, you feel like a weirdo because then people are going to be like, oh, man, it's too bad. And I'm like, shut up. Leave me alone.
Don't talk. I'm going to be in Vegas. I won't be at the game, but I'm going to be in Vegas while they're playing it.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's right, Bob. It's literally that week.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
I think it was meant to be. All of this is lining up.
That's great.
All of this is lining up for Bob to go to the Super Bowl. I don't see Bob not impulsively going.
I might have to.
You already have the flight.
Well, if the Lions are in it, man, you guys go, man. I would go.
Well, if I tell you what, let's say this.
You might have to work. You might have a show.
Yeah. let's say, I mean, I think they're going.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't work on that Sunday. I think it starts on a Monday. But
there you go. Yeah.
You know, I've done crazier things.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is
you're right there. It makes I don't know what a nosebleed seat would cost, but
yeah, I'm guessing at least $1,000.
Oh, I
50.
yeah, I think that's I think that's a little low. I think it'll be a few.
For a few grand for a nose, but yeah, you could be right. I haven't really kept up with the prices because I never really,
Right.
you know, attending the Super Bowl never had any cachet with me because the Lions were so far from it. It was just like, you know, why bother? We'll never experience this. So, but it's I've got a whole change of heart here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, you know, but it is fun to it's fun to just hypothesize since it's so close. It's like you can kind of you can picture it, you know, which is bananas. That's crazy.
Well, Sal, let me ask you this. Nate brought up a good point. I was thinking about this myself. Would you feel worse if they went to the Super Bowl and lost, or if they just lost the conference championship and didn't go to the Super Bowl?
Nah, you know what? You know, it's just for them to experience it, for the 2 weeks prior. It's a big deal. Your city is put on a national pedestal for a couple of weeks. So for that reason alone, and the team getting experience, if all these guys come back, they'll know what it's like if they get back there next year, and even if they lost it. So I say, get to the game. Just don't get blown out.
Right.
But
yeah.
Get back to the game. Play a good game. If Baltimore beats them, say even by 14, hold your head high, walk off the field, and say, "Hey man, let's get back here next year." You know.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I didn't think of that. It's another stepping stone to actually winning the thing.
Before this season, before they like got, you know, really became contenders, you know, people always used to joke like, "Oh man, if the Lions ever make it to the Super Bowl, this, you know, I don't know, like the tension just like of everyone watching the game and like the city will burn down like like just during the game, you know, like all these jokes about it." And I really think, I don't know if it's just like the whole Dan Campbell like culture of it, you know, where I think people will just be like, "You know what? That was a hell of a run." I don't think people are going to riot if they made it and lost.
No, I mean, I wouldn't think
it's hard
so.
to be upset about it. You know what I mean? Like they made it to a Super Bowl. What? So
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to see any. And another thing I don't want to see is if they get beat by San Francisco, and they get beat fairly and squarely or whatever,
right.
I'll take that. But not a bad call. If the Lions get a really, really bad call to go to the Super Bowl, like just some ridiculous pass interference that's not called or something like that, I'm going to be really upset because that's, you know, that always seems to happen to us. And you know, now on the steps of the Super Bowl, it happens. Come on.
You know, the ratings have been so high these last two playoff games for the Lions that I'm hoping that the NFL sees them as a moneymaker somehow and they just make it happen.
I had the same thought. They drew 30 million viewers. That was the biggest. What was that? They called it the divisional round. I forget
something like that. Yeah.
30 million viewers is the highest they've had ever.
Right.
People are digging on the Lions. They love the underdog. They love the attitude, you know?
Well, I saw a TikTok that had something to do with what we're talking about, where they said basically the two market teams they would love to have would be Detroit and Kansas City, because obviously they played the first game of the year. But then the Taylor Swift Eminem thing. Eminem is one of the biggest, obviously, rap artists in the world. Taylor Swift is the biggest artist in the world. I think that's what they want.
You know,
how about that as the halftime show?
I was just gonna say.
People.
I was just gonna say.
Happen.
And I think actually I think Taylor Swift turned it down, which is funny because now she's become such a spectacle in the sport. And I've seen all these tweets, you know, they show Eminem. They don't show him in the broadcast, at least that much I haven't seen. Not as much as Taylor Swift, but you know how people are tired of, you know, there's that whole, it's mostly on Twitter. People are like, I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift. And then they show Eminem like once and people are like, oh, it's okay. Now I thought we were all mad about showing celebrities during the game, but I don't really think they're the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's almost two different, fan bases in a way.
Well, and it's like Eminem is from Detroit. Taylor Swift is just attending the game. She's like in a relationship with the player. Like the reasons they're there are different, I think.
No doubt about it, but they're both there, and so I think it's the NFL. It's perfect, and I just think it could happen.
This is why I think they should do a halftime show, but no performing. They should fight.
This particular halftime show, I forget the other two performers, but it's Reba McEntire.
Wait, she's
why is Reba McEntire going to be at the Super Bowl? I mean, what? Debbie Gibson wasn't available? What the hell?
Yeah, man? I mean, Reba McEntire is a huge country star, but she's not. I don't know. Is she like usually the Super Bowl performer is kind of like a world artist,
Yeah, not so specific. Artist. Is she doing the halftime show or like the national anthem or something? Because they keep adding like these lineups of like performers. It's like you got the halftime show, which is usually like a huge thing, and then you got someone specific doing the national anthem, then you got someone doing like America the Beautiful, and then you got someone doing like all these different they have to get everybody, right? You got country fans, you got hip hop fans, you got rock fans.
Well, they got bands on the outside of the stadium that weekend. I mean, all kinds of shit.
You got Bob Phillips with the lion's finger, standing outside.
It's like Lollapalooza going on.
The Lions' #1 finger, the big foam finger.
Yes,
I'll be running up and down the strip in boxer briefs.
Yeah.
And a foam finger.
Yeah. So I saw this tweet yesterday. I thought you guys would think. I don't know if you saw this, but it says if you're looking for a good omen for the Lions, the last time they won a road playoff game was against the San Francisco 49ers. Following that game, they beat the Cleveland Browns to win the NFL championship, and the Browns have since become the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow. Well, now.
There you go.
So
these guys dig deep for that kind of stuff.
I know. I read this stuff, and I'm so glad I'm not that deep in the weeds. I can't. But it is fun.
Or I guess you'd have to look it up, but some of this stuff could be bullshit.
I know. I just,
but
I mean, I believed it. I didn't fact check.
Right.
I didn't fact check this, so I don't know.
It sounds right, though.
So Sal, what do you think would happen if they came out today and said Debo ain't playing, his shoulder's fractured and he can't play? Where does that line go from 6.5?
I think it goes to 5.5.
Okay.
San Francisco will still be favored. But that would be the equivalent of Laporta being out or
St. Brown
or St. Brown. Yeah, more St. Brown. Yeah, you're right. So that's a big deal. So I think it goes down maybe even 4.5 by game time if he's out.
Okay.
And another reason I like the Lions this week is you don't have we're not going up against, which could happen in the Super Bowl, but we're not going up against a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes, like a veteran quarterback that's been there. We're going up against a guy that's, was the last pick in the NFL draft. Granted, he's great, but he's still unproven. So we can beat him,
I think here's my bold prediction.
Let's go.
Here's my bold prediction. It could be completely insane, but I think the key to this game, here's why the Lions are going to win this. They're going to get to Brock Purdy. They're going to rattle him into making mistakes that he was making when they lost those 3 in a row during the season.
Correct. Yep.
I think that's the
Campbell watched those games, right? He probably watched the shit out of those 3 games to see what those teams did, right?
Yep.
Good
and
point,
I think they are going to rattle him, and I think that he's gonna be exposed a little bit. I mean, there's no doubt he's a good quarterback. I mean, whether he was Mr. Irrelevant or not, I mean, it's been 3 years on since that.
He's proven himself.
He's proven himself. I mean, he's in the NFC championship game. So, but I do think there's something about him that where he can get rattled and he starts making dumb mistakes. I watched him all year, and that Lions defense can make him make dumb mistakes. I mean, what is he? They say he's 5'11"? He's not 5'11". I bet that guy is 5'8", and he's got Aiden Hutchinson bearing down on him, wanting to rip his arm out of its socket. I don't know.
I think the game plan for Frisco is going to be if Samuel is either out or injured, they'll throw to McCaffrey like out of the backfield on those little draw screens, and they'll use McCaffrey. He'll touch the ball 40 freaking times, man.
I absolutely agree with you. I mean, that's the logical step to take, because I mean that dude can motor. You know, you get him in the open field, and he's got a 10-step, lead on you. How are you going to bring him down?
Yeah, he's really good. But Campbell, I think he's figuring this stuff out. He knows that if that guy is hurt, I don't know. We got a good coaching staff. It's going to be a fun game, and Nate's going to have a big party, and we're going to all go to Nate's house.
Hey, you're all invited. Yeah. You're all invited. Bob will be at the game.
I wish I was there.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely invited if you want to come out. That'd be great.
Did you hear about the watch party?
We're all in 3 different cities that night. I'll be in Detroit, Bob will be in Vegas, and Nate will be in Chicago.
That's right.
Wow.
We'll
all be closely in tune.
So a couple more things, and then I'll let you guys go. First, I loved, for those who don't know, Sal bought season tickets to the Lions 1 year. And the year he bought these tickets, they went 0-16. And you know who was on that team? Dan Campbell.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, So I think it'll be fun to see him this weekend. It's fun to just be in the conversation, I guess, right? But
absolutely, Dan.
So,
Sal, are you going to go to the watch party at Ford Field?
They're having a watch party on Sunday.
Yeah, the Super Bowl at Ford Field.
No, man. I went down there. It's so crazy down there. I couldn't get out of the parking structure. It literally, I had to go back inside and watch the other game. And then when I left
Sal's like, all right, I guess I'll go put some more money on the.
It's unbelievable. You couldn't get out. It was a 2-3 hour wait just to get out of the structure. That's how many people were downtown. Plus, there was a Red Wing game going on as well. It's insane. So I don't know if I want to go down there and do it. Now that you told me the watch party's going on, that means there's going to be, because what's the watch party? 50,000? If they can get 50,000 in the stadium.
Easily.
Yeah,
I bet
so
they
it's
fill
just like it's a home game. It's like a home game.
Yeah.
I bet they fill that place. People are so hungry to just be connected to this.
See, and I love it. It's so good for the city, but man, there's nothing more awkward than if they lose, you got to walk out with 50,000 bummed out people. Like, I mean, that's the risk you take.
We've been doing that our whole lives.
That's true, but like, it's like those guys that paint their face and they wear all the stuff. They show up in costume, and I'm like, if your team loses, you got to drive home in makeup. You know what I mean?
But when you walk out of the stadium, you see those homeless guys playing the garbage cans, and you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'll be seeing you guys in a few weeks at the Traverse City Comedy Festival. Another reason I wanted to have you on. That's why this is it's serendipitous. That's the biggest word I'll say. But it's, I'll see you at the Traverse City Festival. I'm headlining the Sal and Bob show at the Old Town Playhouse Theater.
Yep.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Proud to have our young Padawan.
It'll be fun.
Headlining the show.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You guys should, all your listeners should go to TraverseCityComedyFestival.com and come on out.
Yep.
See the whole festival.
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything. Sal, Bob, they got a whole lineup of people, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going
to be a lot of fun.
Especially
a lot of fun.
Hang out with all of you guys.
Yeah, that'll be during the Lions bye week.
Yeah, we'll all watch the Pro Bowl together.
Yeah, that's our Super Bowl.
Do they still have that mess?
I'm just kidding. It's good. Sorry to bring this up real quick because this is perfect to put on a podcast. I didn't know if you know this, or Bob, did you know this? I heard on the radio the other day that back in the day, like in the 70s, the Super Bowl, I never knew this, the Super Bowl champ would play the college all-stars after the Super Bowl. Did you know that?
What?
No.
What?
What?
They played a football game. They would do it every year.
Get out of here! I never
Yeah,
paid
look.
attention to
I
that.
guess I gotta look it up. That's what they said.
Oh
That
my
in the
God.
'70s they would have a college all-star team, and they would play the Super Bowl winner or the championship winner. The Super Bowl was in the '70s, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, crazy. Right.
What I don't remember ever hearing. What did they play out in Hawaii or something?
I
Imagine,
don't know.
Blackout.
imagine
It's
them doing that
crazy.
now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got. Anyway, you heard it. You heard it here on what's the name of your podcast, Nate?
Nate knows nothing. No, it's all right. I didn't even tell you guys. I just kind of ambushed you with this phone call. So,
Yeah, no, it's cool, man.
but
you
no,
heard it here.
this was so much fun. Tell people where they can find you online.
Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, BobPhillipsComedy.com. Also look for the Sal and Bob Show all over the place on Twitter, on Facebook. You can see us once a month at Janetti's Hole in the Wall Theater in Northville. It's a sellout every month, and we love doing that show.
Yeah, and you can see me at saldemilio.com. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And Janetti's and Captain Joe's and even Crystal Gardens now. If you're in Michigan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if you're in Michigan. There's always ways to see Sal Demilio and Bob Phillips.
That's right. Thanks for doing this, guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
All right, so there you have it. Check out Sal and Bob everywhere online and come see us at the Traverse City Comedy Festival in a few weeks. And if not, just follow them online. Check out their podcast, The Sal and Bob Show. Go follow them on social media and sign up for my email list. And if you're in Chicago this weekend, I'll be in Bolingbrook at CG's Comedy Club. I'll see you there. All right, talk to you next week.